Before we begin lesson 2.9 on page 85 of your book, we need to do a quick review of mixed numbers and how to convert them to fractions greater than 1 or improper fractions. Those are synonymous terms. A fraction greater than 1 is an improper fraction. So let's take a look at a mixed number. Let's say we have, let's make one up. We've got 2 and 1/5. How do I change that so that I don't have this whole number out front? I don't want to, this is a mixed number. I've got a whole number and a fraction together. I just want a fraction because I have to be able to multiply and divide fractions. And that gets real confusing when I have a whole number also. So let's go ahead and get rid of that whole number by converting this to a fraction greater than 1. Okay, and this is how I remember how to do it. So to convert this to a fraction greater than 1, I multiply 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 more is 11, and I keep the same denominator, fifths. So I multiply the whole number to the denominator, then I add the numerator, and that gives me the 11. That gives me the new numerator. Let's try that again. Let's make up another one. How about, let's go 5 2/3. And we're going to convert that into a fraction greater than 1. So I'm going to multiply. That's the first operation. Second operation is adding. All right. So the whole number times the denominator is 15, plus 2 more is 17. Then I keep that same denominator. That doesn't change. The denominator stays the same. Okay, so we have to remember that when we're converting. Now, let's go the other way. Let's take a fraction greater than 1 and convert it to a mixed number. Let's do 5/2. Okay, so I'm going to, fractions are really division problems going on. And so I'm going to divide this 2 into the 5. This is the divisor, this is the dividend. So we're going to go over here, do a little margin work. 2 goes into 5 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4, with a remainder of 1. This 1 becomes the new numerator, and the denominator stays the same. The denominator always stays the same. Don't come up with a new denominator. Okay? All right, so 5/2 equals 2 1/2. Let's do one more and then let's get on with the lesson. Okay, we've got, let's go with 7/4. And what does that equal? Okay, so I'm going to do a little margin work. 4 goes into 7 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract. I end up with a 3. The 3 becomes the numerator. And the divisor is the denominator. So it equals 1 3/4. So this is how you convert mixed numbers into fractions greater than 1 or improper fractions. This is how you convert a fraction greater than 1 into a mixed number with a whole number and a fraction. That's a mixed number. All right, let's take a look at the lesson now. Okay. How do you divide mixed numbers? A box weighing 9 1/3 pounds contains robot kits weighing 1 1/6 pound apiece. So each, a box weighing Oh, so there's a big box with kits inside, and each of the kits inside of the big box weighs 1 1/6 pound a piece. How many robot kits are in the box? So we're going to divide 9 1/3 by 1 1/6. So first we're going to do an estimate, and we're going to go with, this is 9 1/3 is pretty close to 1. Remember, we're using compatible numbers, numbers that are easy to work together. 1 1/6 is very close to 1, so 9 divided by 1 is 9. Therefore, this is our estimate. So our final answer should be something close to 9. So let's do the actual algorithm now. We've got 9 1/3 divided by 1 1/6. And the first thing we're going to have to do is convert these into fractions greater than 1 or improper fractions. Remember our two steps. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 1 more is 28 thirds. That's where the 3 came from. Okay, we're done with that one. 1 times 6 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. And that 6 just comes straight over. So we've converted 9 1/3 to 28 thirds, and 1 1/6 to 7/6. So we bring these two down. Now we're going to do our keep, change, flip, because we don't actually divide fractions. We do the keep, change, flip. So this is our keep. This is our change. We change from division to multiplication. And now the final term, this one, we're going to flip. And the 6 becomes the numerator, the 7 becomes the denominator, and we have 6/7. All right, now we can cross cancel. So 27 and 7 have, or I'm sorry, 28 and 7 have a like term of 7. So 7 divided by 7 is 1. 28 divided by 7 is 4. Okay, these two have a common factor of 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So now I can multiply across, and I have 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. 8 divided by 1 is just 8. So our final answer is 8. That's it. That's how you divide mixed numbers. So compare it with our estimate. Our estimate was 9, which is pretty darn close to 8. So the answer is reasonable. There are 8 robot kits in each of the shipping boxes that's coming to the store. All right, let's do this one more time. Okay, first we're going to do an estimate, and we have, this is roughly 2 divided by 1/6. This really isn't something that we can round and it works. So if I had 2 M&Ms and I cut them both into 6 pieces, I would end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So our estimate is 12. Okay, so let's do the real work this time, the algorithm. An estimate's real too. So we have 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. So I have 7 thirds. Now we're going to do the keep, change, flip. So this changes to multiplication. The operation changes to multiplication, and the second fraction flips. And now I can go ahead and do the work. And this has a common factor of, factor of 3. So I simplified by a factor of 3. 7 times 2 is 14. 1 times 1 is 1, which equals 14. Is that pretty close to our 12? Sure is. So we're in good shape there. Let's do this one more time. Here we go. 5 times, we need to estimate first. Sorry. This is pretty close to 6. 5 3/4 is closer to 6 than to 5. And 3/8 is pretty close to a half. So if I was dividing 6 M&Ms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all in half, I'd end up with 12. 12 pieces. All right, so that's my estimate. Now let's do the algorithm. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 more is 23 over 4. I keep that same denominator. Now I change the operation, which was division. It's now multiplication. Then I flip the second term, and I end up the second fraction, and I end up with, well, this can be simplified. They have a common factor of 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 23 times 2, no, is 46, right? Yeah. All right, now I'm going to have to do some margin work because I don't know what 46 divided by 3 is. So here we go. We're going to go over here for a second. Margin work is terrible. Never do it. Ever. I'm just kidding. That's called sarcasm. Of course we do our margin work and we leave it for the teacher to see so they understand what's going on in your head. 3 goes into 16 5 times. So this becomes a numerator, that 1. Bring it up 1/3. So our final answer is 15 1/3. Is that somewhere near 12? Sure is. So we're in good shape. Those are our 2 answers. All right, let's take a look at our, let's take a look at this one real quick first. All right, so they want us to estimate first. So this is pretty close to 3 divided by 4, but we're going to say 4 divided by 4 because that's a compatible number. So if I put 3 there, I would have a really weird number, right? So 3 1/3 is okay to round up to 4 because we're dividing by 4. We need compatible numbers when we're doing estimates. We end up with a 1. So our final answer should be in the ballpark of a 1. Now I have a 4 here, not a fraction. I decided to go ahead and do this so that we can see how to flip this. So I need to convert this to a fraction greater than 1. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. Keep that denominator, 3. All right, and then we change, this is, they're giving us space to do that. This is the same as 4 over 1. Whole numbers can be written as fractions. We just don't because it's not efficient. So 4 is the same as 4 over 1. So we do keep, change. We changed from division to multiplication. Now we flip for our division. 10 and 4 have a common factor of 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So now we go ahead and multiply. We end up with 5 over 3 times 2 is 6. 5/6. Is that pretty close to 1? 5/6, is that pretty close to 1? It sure is. If this was 6 over 6, it would be 1. All right, so let's go ahead and check our answer. They're giving us the 4 from the original problem. 4 times our answer should get us back to 3 1/3. So 4 is the same as 4 over 1. 4 times 5 is 20 over 6. 6 goes into 20, 3 1/3 times. So each hiker receives 5/6 of a quart of water each. All right, let's take a look at our notes. Okay, so we're learning to divide mixed numbers. We're not really dividing, we're doing keep, change, flip. We're going to convert a mixed number or an improper to an improper fraction or a fraction greater than 1. which we did here. We use the multiplicative inverse to divide the fraction. We're really not dividing, we're actually multiplying by the inverse. Remember the keep, change, flip. We cross cancel if possible, and we multiply. All right, the notes will be in PDF form in the Google Classroom.